everyone, and welcome to Bop's Garden. We're here in the third week of July in the northwest corner of Connecticut, and this is a follow-up video to our Poolside Cutting Garden, the one we have just for the summer. But first, I'd like to show off the Orient Pet lilies that they're in full bloom now, and the fragrance here is just amazing. I wish there was some way you can smell it, but you just come into this area and it just perfumes the whole area. It's pretty amazing. These are one and done. When they're finished blooming, we'll cut them down by about a third and leave the foliage behind. It's important to leave that foliage behind and not cut them down to the ground, because that gives them the reserves to come up for next year's. They're bulbs. In the meantime, our dahlias will come up to over this height, and it will help to hide that foliage. At the end of the season, we will cut all the remaining foliage down to the ground. So I'm going to walk over to the Poolside Cutting Garden and we'll show you what's going on there. So here's our summer Poolside Cutting Garden, a mix of perennials and annuals, and we haven't been able to get over here for a couple of weeks. So things have kind of slid, and you'll see that a lot of our blooms are done. Now, if we leave those blooms on, then the plant will finish for the entire season. But we can get more growth from now and right up to frost. So what we need to do, you'll see new buds coming down at this base. So we're going to be cutting these down at this point all through here and deadhead these. And any of the zinnias that came up that need some work, we'll do that. And over here, our Achillea also will have more blooms if we get these off and we cut those back. And we cut these back down to the next flower here, which will be, see right in here. So we just cut these down to this level. We see another bloom coming here, right here. And we'll cut that off and we'll just continue doing that down to that point. And this has got a very fragrant odor as well. And our Henry Waterer Spirea are also kind of fading out at this point. But if we shear this, the entire thing, we'll get another bloom for the fall. And we may even get a third bloom in between. So we have a lot of work to do here, and I'll get this cleaned up and we'll show you what that looks like. So we have our mixed border cleaned up, the perennials and the annuals. The perennials come back every single year and they form the framework for this garden. So this will always be here, this will always be here, and then we beef the rest up with annuals. And as you can see over here, we've lost a bit of the color that goes through the center here. So that's why it's so important in a border like this to have the annuals to color carry the color through. The annuals are also deadheaded, but they keep more profuse blooming throughout the season. And our Anthony Water has been pruned. This has a mounding habit, so it's best to give it a rounded shape. It would not look natural as a square, and in any case, it's very difficult to prune it into a square. And we sheared this with our Felco pruners instead of shears, because the shears would be difficult to get in here, and I can clean up as I go, and then I don't leave such a mess behind. So we had some Asiatic lilies in here as opposed to the Orient Pet lilies in the other border, and these bloomed way earlier. So you see we cut them down and leaving the foliage behind, and the agastache that's here helps for that, to cover that up so you don't have to see the cut ends. Here we did our deadheading. We took out the dead flowers, and look carefully here. You can see right at this point the blooms that I cut down to, in through here, here, in through here. And if you look on this other side over here, this one was a little bit earlier, and I deadheaded it a couple weeks ago, and you can see them starting to come back. Those same little blossoms will come back. So that's gives you an idea of what kind of maintenance we need on these mixed borders. Thank you for watching Bop's Garden. Please share, subscribe, and comment on my videos, and we'll see you next time. Remember, be curious, not judgmental.